I think the chiefs have spoken. Through unity, through collective strength, through collective vision, we will be making a change in Canada. So our First Nations people can rise up and have the same thing as everybody else in Canada. Good housing, good quality education for our kids, jobs for our people, to make sure that the land and water is respected. So we're going to keep doing and working together in a strength and unity as Assembly of First Nations. It's going to be respectful, it's going to be responsive, and it's going to be relevant to First Nations people, not only in our communities, but off reserve as well, and off our traditional lands. And that's the way I see it going.
Well, we always go back to things called free, prior, and informed consent in the UN Declaration. We always go back to the duty to consult and accommodate. We always go back to what Chief Roger William has won for all of us, which is recognition of Aboriginal rights and title. And I always go back to the statement that I've made, and I believe this, that as Indigenous peoples we have the inherent right to self-determination. And that really means the ability to say yes to development and or no to development. My point will be this, is that you have to involve First Nations people. They can't be put to the side. So there's got to be processes with industry, provincial governments, and First Nations governments every step of the way from start to finish. I think people should start investing in Canada's fastest growing segment of the population, which is young First Nations men and women. That's human capital, and that's going to be good for everybody. That's what I believe, and that's the message to the Prime Minister and Cabinet, to everybody. But in Canada, you have common law, you got civil law, right? When we got to start, and we have two orders of government, federal, provincials. We need processes to start working towards recognition of us as a third order. I say the first order of government. And once that happens, maybe one day we will see the recognition of First Nations law as well, to coincide and complement common law and civil law and First Nations law. That's the dream and vision we got to keep working towards. And so when I say occupy the field, and I say we need our own laws developed, because if we do not want the First Nations Matrimonial Real Property Act to apply to our people, develop our own then. If we don't want the Financial Transparency Act to apply, develop our own. Our First Nations, the Child and Family Services Act. You don't want it to apply, develop your own and occupy the field. And so you need templates.
You mean that on an individual First Nation by First Nation?
By First Nation, by treaty area, or national. We can provide the templates, because capacity is an issue. Capacity building is an issue. Being at Little Blackberry, we didn't have the capacity to develop our laws. We need constitutional lawyers, we need experts, and we don't have the human resources to always do that. So possibly organizations can do that, but we have to move towards that recognition, the inherent right to self-government, self-determination, and being recognized. We need processes for that. So these are big, lofty. Why can't we have the constitutional accords and amendments to work towards that again? That's how it should be. But remember this: peaceful coexistence and mutual respect. You know, that's how we were taught. That's how I was taught. Not one above the other. We're all supposed to mutually benefit from the land and resource wealth.